Okay, so this is a second video of the concepts that I want to present to you. In the first video I talked about arrays and lists. And in this video, I want to talk about the kind of things that arrays and lists can contain. So, you remember in the first list, this here is an array A with a bunch of integers in it, 7, 5, 9, 2, 1. Now, so this would be what I'd call an integer array. This array here, which is our grocery list, this contained strings: apples, grapes, milk, and hamburger. So here we have a string array of strings, and here we have an array of integer. One of your earlier assignments was to change your program from using integer arrays into using string arrays, or string lists in that case. Now strings and arrays are, I'm sorry, arrays and lists are not the same thing, but an array is a common way to implement a list, and I'm going to talk about the difference about that in a minute. Now, there's another kind of array. You can actually put into an array something else. So we had integers, here we have strings, and now I'm going to declare an object or a class that I'm going to call person. So this is going to be an object person. And the attributes of this class are going to be as first name and as last name. Now I can instantiate or actually create a specific instance of that class person by calling new person. So here I'm going to create a new person, Ken, last name Huff. Now I would need a constructor, so this is not complete, but I think you get the idea. I'm creating a new actual object representing a person named Ken Huff, and I'm going to store it into a variable called myPerson, which is of type person. So you can see person, myPerson equals new person of Ken Huff. Now this person, when I see new person, refers to this class. MyPerson is my variable. Now here I'm going to declare an array of the person objects. So here I've got person, the open bracket, open close bracket means I'm declaring an array. I'm going to call my variable people, and I'm going to make this array have room for 5 different people. So I'm going to say person, open bracket, close bracket, that says I'm an array of persons, and I'm going to declare it to have room for 5 persons. I'm going to call that people. So now what I've done here is I've instantiated, when I say person, myPerson equals new person Ken Huff, I've instantiated a specific person, Ken Huff. Here on that second line, I'm saying I'm allocating or instantiating, you could say, an array of people with room for 5. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to store into people sub 0, or the first position of my people array, my variable, myPerson. So what I've done now is I've created a people array which contains objects of type person. So you can see, by the way, I created a second one there called Marie Huff, and I stored it into people of 1. And you can see that if I referred to people of 1.first name, that has a value of Marie. So what I have now is I have an array of objects called persons. Here I have an array of strings. Here I have an array of integers. So you can see that I can have, my arrays contain different types: integers, strings, or objects. In this case, an object of person. It's very important because when you put into your array or anything, this concept of an object is important. It happens that integers and strings in Java are what they call base types. They're automatically available. But I can create new data types of anything I want, new classes like this people. It's a very important concept. So think about this class of person. Now I think you already get this, but it's going to be very important when I talk about linked lists.